We see a common pattern in mission-driven organizations right now. Constant motion, but zero forward progress. Teams are working longer hours and pushing harder, yet they remain stuck in a cycle of velocity without vision. The friction usually traces back to the foundation. You cannot solve complex, modern problems using digital architecture built in 1995. When the underlying technology is fragmented, highly capable teams spend their days drowning in manual data entry, cross-referencing spreadsheets, and fighting operational drag instead of directing high-level strategy. This administrative burden has a hard cost. Simple manual errors in data processing lead directly to missed grant deadlines, dropped funding applications, and increasing donor attrition. When a team is burning out while growth stagnates, it is not a failure of human intention or work ethic. It is a systemic failure of digital infrastructure. Consider the scenario of a nonprofit operating with the goal of serving 10,000 children. They have the staff and the community support, but their data systems are entirely siloed. This visual map shows that organization's operational pipeline. Because they couldn't track impact metrics or organize donor engagement accurately, they faced a 92% grant rejection rate at the processing stage. The common reflex is to pay the dabbler's tax, buying isolated AI tools and off-the-shelf software to fix individual leaks. But stapling new tools onto a broken system only creates more chaotic noise and data bottlenecks. Applying more pressure to a fragmented foundation accelerates the collapse. Real scale requires tearing down the old framework and building an intelligent core from the ground up. The solution requires moving past minor, piecemeal software implementation and focusing entirely on high-level, systemic architectural engineering. Instead of deploying disconnected applications, we build a custom, AI-powered command surface, a single interface that centralizes every operation. We start by bridging the silos. Legacy systems, like enterprise resource planning and customer relationship managers, are connected by a unified digital framework. With silos connected, manual entry is eliminated. You gain packet-level visibility, tracking every piece of data securely in real time. You cannot scale an operation until every digital action is synchronized within a single intelligent core. A unified system handling mission-critical data must be built to uncompromising security standards. That means operating securely within strict compliance baselines, including SOC 2 certification and the EU AI Act. We design for US data sovereignty. This ensures your data remains legally protected, geographically secure, and entirely owned by your organization as your intelligence grows. By securing the foundation, government agencies and nonprofits can expand their public services and donor networks aggressively without exposing themselves to data breaches or regulatory friction. High-level architectural security builds the institutional trust required to attract large-scale funding and sustain long-term growth. Once operational drag is permanently removed, the scope of human impact scales upward. This graph compares the financial performance of an organization before and after replacing their legacy architecture. After years of flatlining at $800,000 in funding, the automated processes drove an expansion to $3.2 million annually. That financial spike was driven by a measurable increase in operational efficiency. By automating impact tracking and grant writing, they moved from an 8% win rate to securing 64% of all funding applications. The capital and the metrics translate directly to the mission. With reliable funding and efficient operations, they expanded their reach from 10,000 children to 25,000 without adding stress to their internal team. Scalability happens when an organization stops fighting its own software. When the systems run autonomously, your team can focus entirely on expanding human impact. A brilliant strategy and a clear identity are essential, but they cannot perform if the underlying digital infrastructure is broken. Good intentions require great systems to succeed. Stop managing through chaos